Hello, Kris here. Episode 60, Doom Telly. And it's another competition. I scoured the YouTubes and I found another competition, so that's what I'm doing. Mainly because I've got very little else to talk about, so fuck it. So, as per usual, updates. 3 sets of updates, of course. Green Sabre, CROWSBLOOD, GODTHRYMM. Note to report, once again. Nothing. I'm going round Hamish's again soon for GODTHRYMM. Put some guitars down for something else. It's going to be a bit of a surprise, so wait and see. So yeah, I'll be doing that next week, I think, at some point. Or this week as you're watching this. Anyway, whatever. Yeah, so ongoing. CROWSBLOOD back to rehearsals Monday night. You should be watching this on Monday. So yeah, back at it Monday. Working on these new songs. Can't wait to get back at it. We've had a week or two off. So yeah, just got to familiarise myself with fucking stuff again. Green Sabre, nothing new to report. We've had a few weeks off. Well, 3 it'll be in total by the time we get back to it, because Rossi, bass player's not been available. So yeah, but back at it because we need to actually start rehearsing for our next gig, which is Ruination, Bradford, Underground, Saturday the 11th of May. A big all day. There's some fucking killer bands on. 40 Watt Sun are on, Sea Bastard are on, Barbarian Hermit are on, Dystopian Future Movies are on. It's going to be ace. We're on the second stage, though. We're not on at the Underground. We're going to be on at Rewired, which is just up the way. I've not played Rewired yet, so I'm quite looking forward to that. So, and we're going to be on early on that Saturday. I think we're on about fucking 2 in the afternoon or something. So yeah, half-hour set, so we need to prime ourselves for that. So that is the latest updates on all 3 bands. Like I say, very little to report, but such is. So, competition time. And this time, I found, and it was via my good mate Dylan, Death Metal Dylan, HM2 Dylan, shout out Dylan, top banana. Dylan did a video for this competition, so that's how I discovered A, the competition, and B, the actual channel, because it was new to me. Very poor on my behalf, but like I say, I've not been able to dedicate a tremendous amount of time to YouTube recently, which includes watching other people's stuff, so of which there is a fucking lot of. But there is a competition out there. Let me just get the name of the channel right. Matoxdeepshadows. Matoxdeepshadows. Anyway, he's got a competition. He's reached 666 subs. He's probably surpassed that by some stretch now, I imagine, because of this competition. But it's a great comp for his 666 subs, so I'm going to enter. So without further ado, we've nearly wasted 3 minutes. Let's crack on. So there are 3 questions. Question 1, name 6 albums, bands from around the world that you like, that you've got in the collection. Good question. Question 2, an album from 1996 or an album from 1999 that you have in the collection that you still love. I kind of answered both of that, for both, but you'll soon see. And the final question was a band's 6th album from their back catalogue, 6th studio album I've based this on, that you still think's a ripper and you still listen to. So those are the 3 questions. So without further ado, let us crack on. So question 1A, whichever way you want to do this. Bands from around the world that I love. So let's start as far away from me as possible, I think, of all of these, in Japan. Church of Misery. And this, their most recent album, Born Under a Mad Sign, and their best album by some stretch for me, personally. The debute's pretty good, and there's another one which escapes me, which I like as well. But anyway, let's not get bogged down in detail. But this, their most recent effort, I think is fucking spectacular. Crash Records, exclusive yellow vinyl. Let's dig it out for you. There it is. Check that out. Beautiful, eh? So yeah, the Crash Records exclusive yellow. Sorry, I laid my paws all over vinyl then because I nearly dropped it. But don't worry, I'll clean it up. I do look after him a lot better than that normally. So yeah, Church of Misery. Let's go to Japan straight off. So that's number 1. Number 2, let's go to Canada. And the album that I've picked from this guy is one that sort of holds a place for me because I was at this exact show. It is Canada's very own Devon Townsend. And this is the live album from his Acoustically Inclined tour, live in Leeds. It was at City Varieties in Leeds City Centre. and me and our Trace went to watch it. He was absolutely phenomenal. I mean, regardless of where you sit on the whole Devon Townsend thing, I know that he polarises opinion. There's people that can't stand what he does because it's a bit musical theatre for them. And there's others that get it, like me. Yeah, I love it. This gig, live, he is just an absolute phenomenon. And this was just him and an acoustic guitar and that just amazing voice. He's great with people, particularly so at this, because there was some guy that was pissed as fuck, shouting down from the rafters almost the whole gig, that was like making the entire night about him. Obviously pissed up, thought he was fucking hilarious. Anyway, yeah, Devon did brilliantly to not allow that fucking buffoon to ruin the night for everyone. And yeah, just a masterclass. And so yeah, I'm really glad that I got myself, that A, he released this from that very fucking night, and B, that I managed to snare myself a limited copy on rust vinyl or fucking brown, whatever it is. So yeah, Devon Townsend is my shout out for Canada. Let's circle round and come back to Europe. And vive la France. We're going to France with Blut aus Nord and their most recent effort, Disharmonium Nahab. This is part 2 of the Disharmonium. Anyway, whichever one it is. Another cracker. In my albums of the year last year, it was one of them where immediately I thought it was fucking fabulous. And then I just, not tired of it. I lost interest is a bit harsh, but yeah, it didn't stay on my radar consistently. I have since gone back to it and remembered, yeah, it is decent. I think I placed it at 7 or 8 in my top 10, which I still feels about right, but it is decent. I think the Disharmonium beforehand, the previous year's release, is the better of the two, personally, but this is still ace. So yeah, France, Blut aus Nord with their most recent effort. Staying in Europe. And we're going up north into the frozen wastes of Norway and Björnsum, or however Varg likes to pronounce it. But yeah, Burzum, and in my opinion, their finest hour. How do you... Felicitar os. Felicitar os. I think that means something loose translation, until the light takes us, or something like that. But... yeah, an absolutely phenomenal piece of work. Love it. Like I say, Philosopheme was my favourite Burzum album for years, but I've just learned to love this that little bit more. I think this pips it. I think it's the overall package. It mixes early day Burzum with what he was beginning to mould himself into. And yeah, fucking A. So Norway, my pick number 4, is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Number 5, staying in Europe, and we're in Europe for these remaining 2. Let's go to Holland, the Netherlands, and Pestilence. Now, I usually dig out Consuming Impulse, which is my favourite record by Pestilence, but this is my second favourite record by Pestilence, Testimony of the Ancients. You could tell that Death's Human album was big and had made seismic fucking waves across the death metal scene, because Pestilence were all about that technical death metal thing at this stage. Personally, I think they nailed it on Consuming Impulse, because it's got elements of technicality with bludgeoning fucking heaviness and pure straight up death metal amazingness. This goes all in technicalities, and it's fucking brilliant. It's great. And I do like Spheres, the album that followed it, but it's nowhere near as good as this one is for me. And also, it just sort of, I've still got some time for Pestilence, but it's just a shame that Patrick Mameli seems to be a fucking monumental bellend, which does, like I say, I'm into a lot of black metal and stuff like that that have people in those bands that are monumental bellends, and I'm fine at looking past that. I can look past it in this, but it does make it fucking hard with some of his like recent fucking piling in on the whole AI art debate, and stay off the roids, Patrick. It's making you a very angry man. But anyway, yeah, let's not get sidetracked with details there. Holland, Pestilence, my 5th choice of 6. And my final choice, as I now have the honour, and it is a deep, deep honour, of saying that I am part of the West Yorkshire Doom scene, and what a Doom scene it is, I wanted to hark back to one of those classics. Now, I'm not going to show My Dying Bride again, because well, not for this question, but because I show them a lot. I'm not going to show Paradise Lost again, because I show them a lot. I thought I'd go off the beaten track. I won't show GODTHRYMM either, because I have a vested interest. I want to show you a classic bit of West Yorkshire Doom. It is this. Monolith Cult and their sensational Gospel of Despair album. Look at the artwork. Fantastic bit of classic West Yorkshire Doom. My mate Lee from CROWSBLOOD, shout out Lee. His riffs are so unique. I am privileged to play in a band with Lee in CROWSBLOOD, and now have first-hand knowledge of seeing how Lee composes riffs and writes stuff. And it is an education, because it's often never where I expect it to go sometimes. He's got a really unique style of writing his riffs, and it's all over this. But yeah, it's ace, because I like to write really fucking simply, you know, A to B to C. Lee deviates, and that's what makes him great. Shout out Lee. So yeah, my sixth choice, The Homeland, Yorkshire, the People's Republic of Yorkshire. And yeah, so Yorkshire Doom had to get a nod. So I thought I'd go with this one, because I don't think I've shown it yet on channel. So that's my answer to question A. Question B, an album from 1996 or from 1999 that I love, that's in the collection. I think this was like a loose 666 if you turn some numbers around and so on. Anyway, I was going to mention this from 96, but Johnny Mac, Rock and Metal Plus, shout out Johnny Mac, beat me to it. So I thought, right, well, I've shown it on previous video as well, and Johnny's shown it, so I will try and avoid that. So, but that would have been my choice for 1996. So I went for 1999 instead. And as just mentioned earlier, My Dying Bride, The Light at the End of the World. I've only got it on CD. I haven't got it on vinyl yet, so I need to remedy that. But what a record. This was the one that followed 34.788% complete and was a monumental return to form. Like I say, wherever you sit on 34.788%, it was a slight fall away in the quality that we used to with My Dying Bride. And this picks up the fucking ball and runs with it. A welcome return to form. Fabulous album. Some gems on here. So yeah, my album from 1999. My Dying Bride's The Light at the End of the World. So, final question. Look at that. I might even get this in at around 15 minutes. Unless I keep waffling like I am doing. A sixth album by a band that I still love. Now, as alluded to on the original video, kind of like if a band's in 6 album territory and you still think it's ace, then it proves that they're the stayers, the keepers of that band. So, 6th album. And I could have picked the one that I just mentioned. This is Bride's 6th studio album, isn't it? Yeah, so I could have gone to that, but I thought, let's go for something different. I recently did a competition, which was the 1, 2, 3 competition. I forget who it was for. And you had to basically say a band's first album that you think's the best of their discography, followed by a band's second album that you think's the best of their discography, third, fourth, fifth, censored, and so on and so forth. And for a band's 6th album that I think is the best of their whole discography, I picked that. Deftones, Diamond Eyes. I can see a few of you rolling your eyes at the sheer mention of Deftones. I think they're ace, so get over it. That's all I have to say on this. And I think this album is stunning. But it's not the choice that I'm going to use today, because I used it for that previous pick. And it didn't have to be my best. It had to be a band's 6th album that I think is still ace and I still listen to. So, I've gone with this. Mastodon's Once More Around the Sun. This album, when it come out, got unfairly fucking knocked by a lot of people. I think they bracketed it in with The Hunter, which I think is a strong album, but comfortably Mastodon's weakest of the discography. It's still great, I should add. I do like it, but it's the weakest. This got lumped in with that as if more of the same. Bollocks, you clearly didn't fucking listen to it properly. This is a strong, typically Mastodon-esque concept record. Can't remember exactly what the concept is, but probably aliens and space and various doodads and whatnot. This album is fucking great. Some of Brent Hines' solos are magnificent on it. There's some really good proggy moments on it. The last track on it, Diamond in the Witch House, is one of Mastodon's finest fucking hours for me. A really sludgy, doomy affair with grindingly heavy riffs in it. Got your man who we won't go into right now from Neurosis singing on it. Scott Kelly, was it called? Anyway, another point for another time. But I think this is a magnificent record and their 6th studio album. So yeah, that is my answer to the final question. And that's it. Look, I nearly kept it in at 15 minutes, so I'll wrap this up quickly. That's my entry to what was a great competition. So wish me luck and good luck to everyone else that has entered this. There'll be a link to, I'll get the name right again, Matoxdeepshadows original video down below. Couple more subscribes, or was it one more subscriber? Anyway, we're on 184. We're making that very, very slow march to 200. So let's keep it up. Let's keep on going. I haven't lost anyone in a few weeks. Famous last words. So thanks for liking. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for watching. Until then, thanking you. And I'll see you next week, guys. Hopefully. Cheery bye.